Hey guys, welcome to another Answers video. Now today I'm going to be answering some of your guys' questions. Now to start off, we have Jason6105's question, and he asks, how many seasons do you think Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead will have? So, I have thought before that The Walking Dead would have like 10 to 11 seasons, but now I'm feeling like it might have a bit less. Now, our 7th season now is going to be handling Negan. I feel like in this season we're going to wrap up the Negan storyline pretty much, and he's going to be in prison by the end of Season 7. So, if not, then it might spill over into Season 8, early part, and then for the next half it'll be a different problem, which will pretty much put us around 8 to 9 seasons there, but I'm going to give it an extra season after that, and say 9 to 10 seasons. I can't specifically narrow it down to like one of those, so I'm just going to say 9 to 10 seasons for The Walking Dead. And Fear the Walking Dead is not all that great, so I'm going to say about 5 seasons. Just, they have been renewed for a 3rd season, and that might be where they end it even, but I think they still have a slight chance if they just start picking things up and doing it better, because it is a pretty good show when you sit down and just watch it and don't worry about how much time you're wasting, but it's just very slow, so I don't think it has too much longer to it. 5 seasons at the most is what I'm going to say. Might have more if it picks up, but 5 seems like a good, fair amount for it. So next question is by Torvisla and Upbeat, and they ask, have you ever thought of making your own custom TWD figures? Now, I have made the Walking Dead figures customized versions, so I guess they're talking about making from the ground up, like building my own and sculpting completely from the ground up. So no, I have not really thought much about that, but I have thought a little bit. It's just so much work would have to go into that, and it would be possible. It might not work out as well as like a toy manufactured version would, because they have all sorts of engineering abilities and all sorts of molds capable for them, and they pretty much have any clay or paint that they want. For me, that would be an extremely hard project and probably wouldn't have the proper payoff. Like, if I were to make a 5-inch figure of my own and sculpt it from the bottom up, it would cost a lot of time and sculpting, and then I can't imagine someone paying more than maybe $20 for it, honestly, just because people feel that something built from the ground up is sort of weaker. Unless it looks really good, then we're talking like $70, $80. But then it just wouldn't round up to a fair profit. And if I kept it for myself, I can't imagine it being really worth it. That's why I prefer to just take actual figures, swap their parts around, sculpt them up a bit, and then make them into a customized version that's sort of just kit bashed. That's the way I do it, and it's a lot easier. Okay, next question. This is by the Golden Banana, and he asks, do you think we will ever see Morales again? Now, Morales is that chubby Mexican guy from Season 1, I believe. And he seemed like he was pretty cool, and I thought that we were going to like have him with the group for a while, and he would be like in T-Dog's position, basically, where you just have that background guy that they eventually kill off. But instead, in the first season, he left with his family, and we never see him again, which is very odd. Now, I don't think we'll ever see him again. I think that's just one of those things where he doesn't have enough of a fan following or anything like that, and if they were to bring him in at this point, I don't think many people would either remember him or notice it is him or what have you, so it would be kind of awkward, especially since some people who watch the show at this point, believe it or not, have not even seen the first season, so yeah, it would be kind of hard to fit him in. I don't think we're ever going to see Morales again. Next question is, what is the weakest season of The Walking Dead? So we've had 6 seasons at this point. I would definitely say the weakest is Season 2. I say that because Season 1, even though it was short, it had a lot of quality to it. The first episode was like a movie, and then though the last 2 episodes of Season 1 were kind of slowish, every other episode was very high-paced and fun to watch. And then season 2 was rather boring. I mean, they spent all the time on the farm, and because of budget cuts and new writers, the show was struggling at that point. But they managed to do pretty well. Just season 3 was much better. Season 4 after that was great. Season 5, amazing. And then season 6, we know, is epic, but, you know, the end part of season 6 is still kind of bad. But whatever. Next question. When do you think we will see the Whisperers? So the Whisperers are characters from the comics. It's a group of really bad people. I don't want to spoil it for you guys too much, so I'll just leave it with that. And I think we will see them around, perhaps, since this is season 7 that we're working with Negan, I think we'll see them at the end of season 8. That is pretty much around the timeline that should be, after maybe a time skip. So that should be where they would come in. Okay. Do you watch Game of Thrones? No, I do not watch Game of Thrones. I don't really know where to get it. I have Hulu, I have Netflix, and I don't think they're on there. And also, I've heard they're really raunchy and dirty in very horrible ways, like incestual, and I don't know. I think I've even heard of, like, animal loving, but I don't really want to dig all that stuff or watch that stuff. It just, I don't know, something about it. Now, I do like that sort of stuff that's, what am I thinking? Lord of the Rings like, which Game of Thrones appears to be, but I just don't think I can get past all of the, filth. Okay. Next, have you played GTA 5, Grand Theft Auto 5? I have never played Grand Theft Auto 5. Once, I think I got to play a Grand Theft Auto game for like a few minutes on an Xbox at what's it called? I don't know, it was some store that they were like, GameStop was it? Yeah, GameStop. But, I don't know, I've just never really been too into video games, and if I could afford video games and I were into them, I would definitely be doing a video game related channel right now, and I wouldn't be reviewing toys and stuff, because video games seem to really have a lot more of a following. I've seen guys with 10 million, billion subscribers or something like that. I don't know. A guy named PewDiePie who has 32 million, because that's ridiculous. So, yeah. No, I've not played GTA 5. Next question is from the Angry Squad, and he asks, what if the governor was still alive? Would he fight Negan, or would he be his ally? So, the governor was sort of a sociopath, and sort of definitely, and he was just psycho in every way, which made him an interesting character, but as a person, not so much. So let's say he did survive to this point, by the grace of God, I guess. I have no idea how he would be able to, just because his level of evil and psycho didn't match too well for this zombie apocalypse, really. And he as we saw, he was pretty good at strategy a little bit, but then when he would just get a little psycho, his strategy would go out the window and he'd just do crazy stuff. Like, at first when he was handling them at the prison, he was doing a pretty good job at attacking them small. He sent in a truck full of zombies to fill their area. That was a good move, but then later he just, like, rushes in and they are able to get him at crossfire, then they all leave, and then he kills his own people. He's not a very good leader, and I think he wants to be a leader. So if he were hanging with Negan, let's say he pretended to be his ally, he'd want to take over, and I don't think he would be able to take Negan, and if he were, I don't think his people would follow the governor. I get the feeling that they'd want to overthrow the governor. So, would he be his ally or enemy? I think it would be a little bit of both. Like I just said, that's pretty much how I think it would go. Okay, last question. This is from the Danny Grimes. And he asks, how do you think Shane would have handled the whole Negan situation if he was still alive? I don't think Shane would have handled it too well. So let's say, I mean, if he was, like, just still alive, or if he was in charge of the group, I think if he were still alive, there wouldn't be too much of a difference of what's going on now, because what Rick wants to do now, just rush out and do stuff, that seems sort of like what Shane would want to do. So, they don't really differ all that much, and Shane and Rick would just be a tougher group, but pretty much they'd be in the same position the whole way through, and in the season 6 finale it would pretty much end in the same way, only you'd have Shane there instead of maybe Aaron. So that's how I think it would happen. So those are the questions. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and stick around for my 250 subscriber contest. Wow. I just remember I was watching one of my videos way back when I did Halloween cosplay as Negan. I was bragging about having 12 subscribers, so we really have come a far way, guys. Thank you very much for sticking with me, all of you, and I can't wait to show you the 250 subscriber contest that I have in the works. So I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe again, and peace.